So my name is James Coolidge, and I'm the Executive Director of London Youth for Christ, and I've been serving with Youth for Christ for 5.5 years now. So I've been in London for 21 years and have seen just a number of young people in their lives, and some finding fulfillment, but unfortunately many of them not, and getting lost and despondent and just looking for hope. One of the burdens and passions I've had in London is how can we actually build a community of faith followers, of Jesus followers that will just love on young people and just really show them compassion and care, living out the words of Jesus as opposed to just simply preaching. And one of the great opportunities coming to Youth for Christ is building together a group of dynamic leaders that would come alongside young people in their journeys and just love them for who they are and giving them that tangible experience of Christ so that they can actually have hope and not just be lost in trying to be good enough for other people or good enough for peer pressure or expectations that pop culture has on them, but just to be real and to be themselves. Working with youth has really probably impacted my life as much as I get the opportunity to impact theirs. I get to hear their stories of brokenness and overcoming, and it's always challenging me as an adult to what are some of the stories maybe I've held on to as a young person that still affect the way that I lead as an adult today. And so really there's a really neat exchange. As I get to share my journey and my story with them, I get to learn from their stories, and it really challenges each other. It's kind of like that iron sharpening iron, and both of us actually reaching our hope and potential. So one of the things that I see we have an opportunity to do in working with young people is really providing an end goal of hope. We talk about hope a lot of times, but often what we do is actually help. I cannot be a young person's source of hope. I can help them along their journey. I can help them discover ways of overcoming and becoming resilient on their own to create those solutions when troubles come their way. But that's not necessarily hope, that's a skill development. Hope is when everything around you seems like nothing good can happen, that you still believe something good will. And I don't see that I can provide that to a young person or that a system or a program can. And that's what I love about Youth for Christ is we get to direct them to one that's bigger than us. We get to point them to Jesus. We get to point them to God, who says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. And for a young person, if they know there's a future for them, even in the midst of obstacles and tragedy, there's a sense that there's still hope in the midst of that storm. There's still hope in the midst of those ashes.